Okay, greetings. Hi, my name is Amirah Sankofa Kweli, and I'm with Ask Life Coaching Ministries. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I started this video actually on Instagram, and I said, well, you can only do like a little snippet, like 58 seconds or something like that, almost a minute. But either way, I was not going to take the chance of getting caught off. So basically, I started on visualizations, and I was thinking about that in visualizing because I definitely want to share a couple of points with you on that. What happened was, so let me just tell you a quick story today, and then I'll run through some other things. I tried to do a video a second ago, and I guess it didn't. I called myself pausing it, but I guess it didn't work. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So anyway, I said to myself, I really want to go ahead and get certified. I mean, I know about um qigong, and I wanted, of course, and I've read about it. I studied it. Because I'm a Reiki grandmaster, so of course I began to really start getting into it a little bit more because I was like, well, it's along the same lines because you're getting your chi up, you're getting your energy up, you're helping people to do all these different things. Because again, I'm an energy healer, so why not go to all these different levels and I just learn Reiki, but learn different other forms of healing, which I do. I tend to do that. I tend to really want to get into my arts of really, really healing people because that's very, very important, whether it's liquids, whether it's powders, whether it's herbs, whether it's energy, whether it's me touching them, whether it's me talking to them, listening to them, giving them readings, giving them spiritual advice, tapping into their inner self and what have you, whatever. At the end of the day, that's what I do. Okay. Don't try this at home, y'all. Anyway, so I started really thinking about this and I actually have a session tomorrow. I just kind of want to get everything together because I first need to, of course, clean up my room. I need to clean up the kitchen. And I need to clean up the bathroom just a little bit, at least clean out the tub because the bathroom's pretty nice because I cooked today. I always cook, but of course I didn't. Usually I clean up right after, but I've been washing dishes all day. I don't feel like doing it all day. But anyway, so I know I went on a tangent, right? So the point is, throughout my day, I had really even talking and working with my king, and we've been creating some things and projects, together today. So I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I was telling him about this long laundry list of things that I had to do, plus including finishing the last bit of part of my laundry. I got like one basket to fold up, one to take out dry, and one to put out the washing machine into the dry, right? So I'm telling him about all of these things I have to do. Then I have to create a kit. Then I have to do two natal charts. Actually, three. No, I'm sorry, four. Four natal charts tonight. So I have a lot of things to do. Plus, I have an appointment in the early AM. I have several. So I'm like, wow, I just have a lot of stuff to do, which I'm happy about. But I really, really, really want to get this course. And I said, well, I don't really want to tap into my savings to pay for this course. I found this course at a really, really good rate. And so I was like, wow, they can certify me. And I started reading and I started trying to find all these different courses. So I found something that was like a lot. Then it took me a long time. Then if it wasn't too much, it took a long time, or it was free and they wasn't giving you the certification. They wasn't giving you a certificate. So I was like, look, I'm just really getting ready to sit here for 5 seconds and I am going to manifest this course at a really reasonable rate that I can afford. And not only that, whereas I don't have to tap into my savings right now because I'm trying to do a lot. I'm trying to finish my store. I want to get a nicer car. You know what I mean? I got a lot of stuff that I need to do. Right? A want and desire, okay? Want, need, desire. I talk to my clients about that all the time. So I just kind of sat back and I was chilling. I said, wow. So I kind of sat back, did a little meditation, thought about it, thought about the chi, thought about it heavily, and just thought about how I can, gravitate it toward me. I mean, it's not I thought about how. It's not a how. It's a how can I do it right now? Because I'm ready right now. I don't want to wait next week. I want it right now. So I sat up for about 5 minutes, and then a client called me and was like, "Hey, I need to do such and such and such and such." I was like, "Cool." So they gave me extra. My normal other than my normal rate, because I was like, look, I'm so proud of you. I like the way you work. You work really hard. Let me take care of you, sis, because you've been a very benefit for me and my family. And I want to not only give you what I'm going to give you to give that spiritual healing, for you to spiritually help me, but not only that, but I want to invest in you. And I was like, huh? I was like, wow. Wow, light bulb goes. I wish I could show y'all my light. I wish I could put a light bulb. I should have did the video with the light bulb, right? So I was like, wow, okay, cool. So he deposited in my account. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, boom, the course pops up, right? I just Googled it. I just put it in Google. Now, mind you, I've been Googling it all day. I just want y'all to understand. And all of a sudden, it magically pops up at the rate that not even and then I got it cheaper because I notified the person. I was like, hey, is it possible that you can give me a discount because I'm paying for it outright and I'm not even doing like a payment scale? And the person was like, sure. I'm like, wow, what is this? It's going good. So of course I was like, that's what's up. You can see it, you can achieve it, you can do it, right? So the importance of visualization is very, very important. I mean, that was a very quick visualization, okay? But the universe wanted me to have it as well very quickly because the universe understood on my ancestral line, want me to get heavily into my spiritual healings, to be able to tap into the utmost energy that I can possibly can. Because keep in mind, I've been having energy my whole entire life. I've been able to heal people, touching people spiritually and all these different things. So, of course, my ancestral line wanted me to have it. So, anyway, when I did the video earlier, I was, I gave you that example. So, let me go a step further. That was my personal life. So, let's go a step further in me talking to you about how, when I talk to my clients, I've thought about this theory as well. I'm like, well, long as you should be able to manifest whatever you want to, when you dealing, especially when you're dealing with, because for us, we always look at things as a need. We're always wanting to just need something. We don't need it, then we don't want, then we don't feel like it's for us, and we don't think about desires and hopes and dreams like we should. Okay. So I began to really start thinking about that. And I was like, listen, if you really desire something, why not try to go for it? It's not always about a need. Sometimes it's about a desire. I desire to do that. I don't necessarily need it, but that's what I want. I desire it. I want a car. I want a Cadillac. I want freedom. I want, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of things. May not want to work for anybody. That I can work for somebody, but I desire not to. You know what I mean? So these are things. And then I told my client, I said, well, as long as it's not hurting anybody, go for it. However, I began to think about that on a deeper level. Let me break this down for y'all. Now, suppose you go for a job. Is you and another client, and the client is in the room, and they're, you're on, the process of getting interviewed. You're sitting in the room waiting on the interviewer to come out to get you, and they already have one person in the office. The other person is talking about how they really need this job. They got a family. They doing this. They doing that. They doing this and doing that. And you're on the same level. Like, I got a family. Like, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But you still smiling at them. They only got one space open, right? So it's between you and this other person and the other person that's getting interviewed, right? And so you sitting there, you looking, you like, wow. So do you think in your mind, like, wow, I really hope that person gets it and I find something else for me? No, you do not. So isn't that kind of hurting that person, right? Or is it a situation where you're just desiring or you wanting that? So it's not necessarily, we have to think about, hurt, because, of course they can hurt a person, but at the same time, some things are just meant for us. Some things may be meant for that person. So it's all about you still achieving it into your mind. That person might be achieving it too, so may the best person win. So sometimes it's like that. So we have to think about, so I had to really evaluate. I had to text my client back and I said, well, and I gave them a similar scenario. And they was like, wow, I understand where you're coming from in that. And that's something that we really have to think about, because some things, people are going to get hurt sometimes. Sometimes when you manifest something, sometimes a person may get hurt. And although it may be unintentionally, you don't have to, I don't have the, with me and this other person, or just for example, with me and another, you and somebody else, you're not thinking, well, wow, I hope they don't get this job. I need this job. And you don't have mean spirit about it. You're just like, well, dang, I hope I get this job, but dang, I hope something come their way. You know what I mean? So you still have a positive spirit about it. You still all like, I hope this person, but at the end of the day, if you get a job, they still gonna kind of hurt, right? So we have to think about things like that when we say hurt, because some things are just not unintentional. So it's more so. So I probably went back. Well, I went back and told my client. I said, well, unintentionally hurting, because we don't try to, as a people, we don't necessarily try to hurt people. That's not your intentions, but sometimes people just get hurt. So I could love this person, but they don't want to be with me anymore. What can I do? I can't force them to want to be with me, because it's all about them being happy, just like me being happy. So I don't want somebody that doesn't want to be with me. You know what I'm saying? If I don't make them happy, then I don't need them to stay. I don't need nobody to stay with me based upon they worried about my feelings. I want somebody to stay with me because they want to stay with me. So these are the things that we have to think about, because, we all have been cheated on in some cases. We all been lied to. We've probably done some cheating or some stuff that we probably should have done. But at the end of the day, we have to think about different things on the intentions, the intent. And some things are unintentional, and some things happen and people get hurt. And that's the reality. So in going back to the manifestations, because that's really what I'm talking about, but I just had to put that point out to you, that I'm going to share my visionary board. So of course I talked about this, and this was done like last year. So I said one of the things that I visioned was becoming an ultimate healer. This is another thing. I said that I wanted to take my business to a larger scale level, that I wanted to be on the internet, be able to tap into all these different things, to take my business to a whole nother level, the ultimate healer, to heal thyself, and to kick the hell out of life. See, me kicking the boot. Wait, right here. There we go. And I also said, get the target off my back. Because I felt at that time, I felt honestly like I had a particular enemy that I felt like was trying to turn people against me, because she felt like I hurt her, or that particular person or entity, whatever you want to call them. And and so I also said that a brick house, because I like brick houses. I grew up in a stone house, but my parents still own it. I also said I wanted to give up coffee. Well, let me tell y'all something. At least I went from coffee with regular milk, and I have gotten better about that. Now I know I feel a little guilt there, so I'm kind of throwing it out there. Uh, with the coffee, I did put some almond. I use almond milk, so I'm cutting back on it. I don't need it as much. I don't really need it. I just drink it every now and then, so that has gotten better. So it's a work in progress, right? But I just like coffee. So it's not really, I would say last year I was extremely addictive. But would I say now that I was addicted to coffee? No, I just like coffee here and there. But I do teas too. And I drink way more water. So that's a blessing, right? Um, and I've also changed my diet. I talked about that. I was already a vegetarian, but I've removed other things, and I've gone to the Dr. Sebi diet. Terry, I don't, and probably maybe once every so often I might string off, but that's okay. I'd like to do that occasionally, not all the time, but on occasion, on purpose. I also to see more beauty in others. Right here. That's the little camera I got. And love with family, and have a real sisterhood, because a real sisterhood is very important to me. I mean, I've met a few sisters that I bond with, but as a whole, I pretty much have been a loner. And I think and a lot of my ancestral line tells me, because of the fact that I'm a Taurus, and because I'm trying to be this ultimate healer, so I'm not going to have a lot of friends. And I don't think necessarily that that's what I want. Now analyze, and so certain things in my visionary board that I would have to redo it that I wouldn't necessarily agree with. At this point in time, because visions do change, right? We're all human. So what else I said? I also talked about growing a growing family. That's happening. I also talked about getting more money. That's happening. Building a store. That's happening. And I actually do have a store, y'all. It's an online store. And I do a lot of vending. So I like that. I like the mobile, I like the flexibility. I don't necessarily want to stay in one place right now. But again, that visionary aspect of me could certainly change, because once I get more into establishing more clients here locally, I may want a store, but right now I'm kind of enjoying my time being able to be at home and still clean up my house, still tend to what's going on in my household and dealing with my family. So I can still do both. I'm able to juggle it all. So I like that, right? And then I talked about also to give and receive just as much. So, because I like to give, I'm a giver, but in a lot of cases throughout, in the past, not now, of course, because that was one of my visions that came true, that I would always give people and give and give and give and not receive anything. Now, at this point in time, not true. I'm receiving, I'm giving, and I'm receiving. So I love that. Um, what else I say? I talked about having more family. Yeah, that's definitely coming to pass. I definitely see that. I can feel it. And I just talked about like saving money. I'm able to save money now as well. So just a lot of good things that I have on this little Hattie, that visionary board is coming to pass. And y'all can tell it's old. Y'all see my name, Amirah. It's in white letters, some of it, right? So yeah. And I also talked about a millionaire ideals that get her dollars, and it's just to impact the world. And I really feel, and that's coming to pass as well, because I am impacting a lot of people. I am getting to know different people on an international and a national level and local level. So I don't know. For the most part, my visionary board is definitely coming to pass, and I really can't complain. I just have to keep on doing what I'm doing and just turning up notches. So and at this point, we have to talk about, and then most importantly, when we talk about visionaries, you can talk about items, desires, wants, and needs. But one of the things I put on my other ones, I did two of them, and I'm not gonna go get that one. But I also talked about on the other one. I remember the other one has a lot of these on here, but it's bigger. I'm also talked about happiness. Happiness is very, very important to me because I love to be happy. Now we all have times where we feel down and out, but I'm only staying there for no more than 2 days. I don't allow myself to be unhappy. I don't care what the situation is. I'm not going to allow myself to be unhappy. It's just not in me. Now, I've been unhappy my whole entire life. I've battled. I had so many different battles that was negative. I was crazy. I was going through all these different changes. And at this point in time, at 43 years old, I'm just not going to do unhappiness. Now, it may come here and there, but that is only temporary, okay? We have to really gain happiness within our life, and we have to start following our hearts and our brain. And sometimes I'm sorry, and your brain does not always align and connect with each other. So your heart might be telling you to be foolish, stupid, and dumb. And while your brain is like, logic, no, 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 you're not going to do that. So we have to find a way to connect the two. And sometimes that inner voice, sometimes we have to go higher self, right? We have to get into the higher, chakra, or maybe the eighth chakra, and sometimes we have to tone into the seventh chakra, and we have to tone into the third chakra, and even the navel chakra certainly helps us to guide us in that way. And even with your hand chakras, those are very important. That is because you're touching, because you're feeling that energy coming from the pain, because this is usually the first point. When you touch somebody, you usually touch them first with the hands. You don't just go, hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? So yeah, you do speak. So voice, the throat chakra is also compelled. That's why sometimes when people aren't or off back to communication is off, and they might have to or they might have to go through all these different changes, might have throat problems. That's a lot of things with the Taurus, because I'm a Taurus. We get throat issues occasionally when we like don't speak our minds, or we don't tell people what we're thinking, because sometimes we like to think first and we need to go through all these changes, then we'll leash it out. Sometimes we just blurt it out. Sometimes that can cause some problems as well. But anyway, I've babbled enough pretty much. And all I'm telling you all is to think about visions. Visionary. See it. Or you can write it down first. You can make a collage like I just showed you. You could do this. And also, if you see on my collage, I've also written things in here as well for the ones that I have pictures for, because my other one has more pictures in than less writing. So we have to get more heavily involved in connecting with what we want, because one thing I do want to tell you about this. Now, this is the misconception. Be careful for what you ask for, because sometimes you can ask for something. But some people, I have had clients that I've helped to have children. They had children, and they was like, man, I don't know about motherhood no more. And I'm like, wait a minute, but you said 9 months ago you was down and you wanted a baby, and I helped you to achieve that. Now that you have a baby, now you complaining. So you have to be careful about that. You have to really think long and hard about what you want, because like I just told you, certain parts of my things that I posted on my visionary board did kind of change a little bit for me, because I'm in a different space at this point in time. So we have to be careful about what we ask for on these boards. And even if it's a little, certain things is tweaked a little bit, we still have to acknowledge that, and we have to watch it, because by the time the universe may decide, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and bless her with that child, I'm gonna go ahead and bless her with that, and then at that point in time, you're like, well, damn, I don't even want that no more. I'm on a different level, and it's too late, too damn late, too damn late, too damn late. Okay, so I just want to advise everybody to really watch what you're thinking. Watch what you visualize. Watch what you put down. Watch what you write down. Watch what you say. Because again, words do hold spell. Words or spells. Words or power. Words or manifestations. Okay? So we have to be careful about that. So pretty much, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for being patient with me. My name is Amirah Sankofa, Kweli with Ask Life Coaching Ministries. You can reach me at 502-208 9142. Sometimes I forget my number. Did I give you my website? www.ask314life.com. Thank you so much. And my email address, ask314life@gmail.com. Thank you so much for staying in contact with me, and blessings. Namaste.